Hello and welcome to TVinsider.com. I'm John Russell, and joining me today in our definitely, unquestionably, erotically enticing world business headquarters in New York are the hosts, stars, and victims, survivors of
please.
My Dad Wrote a Porno. Welcome Alice Levine, Jamie Morton, and James Cooper. So you guys have an HBO special coming up. How did that go?
Really good, yeah. We're really excited about it. We think it's good, John.
You think it's good?
Yeah, we kind of are quite surprised that HBO wanted to, put all their chips on porn, but we're thrilled that they did. And yeah, we're really, really excited for everyone to see it.
Speaking of your dad's porno, for people who may not know the backstory, how did you find your dad's porno, Belinda Blinked? And were you looking for it? Were you rooting around?
I'd heard it was out there. I just had to get my hands on it. No, he sent it to me. Bizarre. That's kind of one of the weirder parts of this whole thing is that my dad actually emailed me his own erotica for me to read, critique, mess with my head. I don't know.
He intended for you to see it. That's so strange.
It's disgusting, isn't it?
Have you ever asked him, like, what did you expect to get out of this back and forth?
I honestly haven't, just because I don't really want to know, because it could be opening up a whole new layer of this Pandora's box that I don't want any part of.
Okay, so on the HBO special, you are reading a lost chapter from Belinda Blinked. How did it get lost, and where did you find it?
And when will it get lost again? For people that haven't read any of Rocky's work, he doesn't really have a filter. So usually it's just dross that he doesn't check back over. But he actually decided that this chapter was too terrible to include in a book, so discarded it. And thankfully, Jamie, to say discovered, accidentally stored, and we thought it has to be, because it's quintessentially Flintstone, isn't it?
It is. That's what's great about it, is that it's actually kind of got everything that you've come to love and, let's be honest, hate about my dad's writing. It kind of makes no sense. It's about nothing. The grammar's terrible. The sex is appalling. So we thought, well, this is a great chapter to do for HBO, because if you haven't heard the podcast, I think you'll get it immediately.
What's been nice as well with the show is that we've been able to make it more visual and kind of explore stuff we haven't been able to do with the podcast before. So we get people up on stage to recreate a scene from the book to see if bits can actually happen and hands and feet can go in the right place and all that sort of thing. Alice does a whole presentation on female anatomy, explaining, where stuff is, because he thinks it's all just kind of jumbled up in a bag and he doesn't really know.
So you pull people from the audience to recreate these erotic scenes. That sounds like a Me Too moment in the making.
No, it's all consent. Like they volunteered. They don't know what they're getting themselves in for, but they volunteered.
The HBO special is an adaptation of your stage show that you've toured with, but I have read elsewhere, and I think you've talked about it on the podcast, that you have also been approached about doing a film version of Belinda Blinked. So what's the deal with that, and who would you cast as Belinda?
Oh, that's a really good question. So yeah, we are having really exciting conversations about it. We kind of have a great cast list already, All the guests that come on the show, if they're an actor, they kind of Bagsy a role. Emma Thompson's playing the Duchess. Elijah Wood's playing the youngish man. So we've got kind of like the supporting cast, if you will. But Belinda is yet. So it's funny, no one's wanted to be Belinda yet.
It's sort of Oscar bait, isn't it, really, that role? So, I feel like there's some names on our list.
I'm just going to say, I think Jennifer Lawrence would be great.
There it is. I knew he was holding on.
I just think she'd be great. Second Oscar.
Do you ever get Belinda fan fiction?
I don't think we've ever read any of it, but there is. It's out there. We did some shows in New York last year, and someone met us at the stage door who had actually had printed and bound their own kind of Belinda Blinked fan fiction. I think it was called like Wendy Winked or Linda Licked or something like that.
So more of a spin-off.
More of a spin-off. It was much bigger than a Belinda Blinked book, because a Belinda Blinked book is basically a sexy pamphlet. It's about that big. But this was like Lord of the Rings, wasn't it? Yeah. So we haven't actually delved in yet and gone to read it, but I'm sure we will at some point. But Rocky has his own reasons, doesn't he?
Yeah, my dad people send him fan fiction. He's like, "That's fantastic, thank you so much. I won't be opening it because I don't want to read it, be inspired by it, and then be sued for plagiarism," which is very smart, you know.
What does the future hold for Belinda? I believe I read that Rocky is still writing these.
He is. We can't stop him. We have tried, but we can't stop him.
There are no legal channels.
We don't know. So we're doing season 5 of the podcast later this year. So we'll find out what the hell's happening to Belinda then. But season 4 or book 4 really ended on a kind of real moment of terror. There was a big explosion. Characters might be dead. We don't really know. He's really thrown a grenade into this whole world, quite literally.
Let's not forget, very sexy. Always sexy. What a sexy way to end an erotic novel.
Sexy carnage.
We might have some exciting, doctors and nurses coming up.
True.
Okay, Jamie, James, Alice, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
My Dad Wrote a Porno airs May 11th on HBO.